Alright everyone, Joe Sky is here. Welcome back to another video. We're talking about self-discipline and why you need it. Now self-discipline is of course the ability to control yourself and to make yourself work hard or behave in a particular way without needing anyone else to tell you what to do. An example of self-discipline is delaying instant gratification. Now, what is, of course, instant gratification? It's kind of like having some sort of like crave or hunger or whatever it is for something immediately, and it's a short-term benefit. That could be eating a bunch of candy, or maybe it's just scrolling endlessly on TikTok or something, right? Instead, you could be doing something that's better for you, such as reading a book or exercising or doing something that has a long-term benefit. So why is self-discipline important? Well, it is important because we want to actually achieve goals. Goals are very important in life. And when you have goals, things like instant gratification or whatever it is that your dopamine levels are wanting, whatever it is, those things will get in the way. Pleasure, short term pleasure, all those various things will get in the way. You need self discipline to master yourself. You need self discipline for many, many things. And self discipline is what most successful people have. A lot of people think just do, whatever, 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 scroll endlessly on TikTok, watch a bunch of movies, play a bunch of video games, instant gratification. Over that, there is no discipline. You must discipline yourself. Instead of eating a bunch of candy or playing video games all night, instead of doing that, self discipline by saying, this could wait, let me do something better for me. This could wait, or I could reduce. See, the thing is that self discipline is to control yourself from doing those kind of things. It's of course a big topic. So if you're someone who likes to play video games, that's like a form of instant gratification. Now, if you're someone who's constantly playing them every day, playing them a lot, staying up late playing video games, you're probably going to, how I want to say, you're probably not going to make it too far in life. And most importantly, you're going to be addicted and, it's bad. So what you want to do, of course, is limit yourself. So when you use self discipline, you're basically saying, nope, I don't want it. I don't want, you want to stop. You control that urge, right? You stop yourself. And this is what you need. You need to hold yourself and you need to learn to do that. It's very difficult. But of course, with time, you can do that. So basically, controlling yourself is key. And there's going to be many things that a lot of people have, a lot of bad habits. So how could you replace it, right? So you're probably saying, okay, I can stop myself from playing video games and scrolling all day on TikTok. So then you probably ask yourself, well, what can I replace it with? And that could be whatever, reading books, going outside, going outdoors, anything like that. So there's steps to this. And number one is identifying that issue. So if it's playing video games or being hours on TikTok, find that issue. Second, replace that bad habit with something else, which is probably going to be something better, such as reading a book or an outdoor activity or exercise. So you begin to do that. And self-discipline is something that is mental. It's something that you must learn and it's something that you're going to have to deal with. Nobody's going to tell you not to go on TikTok all day or not to eat a piece of candy or whatever. So you're going to have to make sure, like, you're going to have to basically really put it in your mind. And this is how you're going to get to your goals and reach things in life because if your goal is to be a millionaire or to, I don't know, whatever your goals are, if you don't have any self discipline, how are you going to manage your money? And Because if you're not self-disciplined and someone says, hey, let's go car shopping, let's do this, let's do that, you have no discipline to say, oh, I don't want to do that. You're going to go there and you're probably going to buy a car. Waste your money. If you're not self-disciplined, you're going to just do something just to make you happy temporarily. And there's so many forms of discipline, so many forms of, addictions and things out there, right? Whether it's hanging out with your friends and then boom, something like, hey, let's drink, let's do this, and you're like, okay, instead of me drinking at the party, which is a little fun thing on the weekend, right? Delay that, don't do that, and then you do, you know, something similar, something like working instead, working on a project or working on your website, working on your business, or learning, or just doing something that's more better for your health, such as more working out or boxing or something, right? So technically, the goal of self-discipline is to really find out what the issue is, then it's to replace it with a better habit. That's simple, right? And again, depending on your form of discipline, you're going to have to replace it with something that is more beneficial to you. And holding yourself. Now, how do you get to the point of holding yourself? It's simply by holding it away. Like it's complicated, but you're going to have to learn that part on your own. It's why it's called self-discipline. You're going to have to think, and you're going to have to realize that it's not serving you. And something like that could happen, right? Like maybe you're saying you're playing video games, you're like, what do they do for me? If it's not doing anything for you, then other than pleasure, then you simply say it's not worth it. Over time, you will lose interest and you will move on to something else. The thing about the discipline part is you're going to have to really, that's the journey, basically. So for me, that was it. That was me. I realized that video gaming is just not really worth it. And I think that, there's better things out there. So instead, I move on to something else because I realized that I put in my head, like, why should I do this? What's the point of it? Right? Okay, it's fun. Yay. That's all it is. So I changed my mentality and I realized that it's not worth it. And every time the urge came to play video games, I would just do something else. And that something else should be better. Find something that truly aligns to you. Then, most addictions and habits usually disappear. There's all forms of discipline and all things you have to overcome. It could be food, it could be too much social media, too much video games, it could be anything. And the goal of self discipline is to simply stop that. That's the goal of self discipline, to stop yourself from doing whatever it is. Maybe you go to the club a lot for fun and you're drinking. Well, you gotta have discipline and say, okay, I'm not gonna do that. It's not worth it. I could do something else. Again, it is a mentality. It is your journey. It is your life. You will have to figure it out. But these are examples, and hopefully you guys use these examples and use whatever you got out of this video to realize that self-discipline is very important and you're gonna need it. Thank you. Subscribe and like.